Hello, today I will be reading part of the first chapter from my book as the First Petal Falls. It's not actually published yet, so I just wanted to read it because why not? Okay, so chapter 1. I haven't actually got a name for the chapter yet. Okay. I enter the leisure centre, out of breath from running. I take a moment to calm down before heading towards the receptionist. I explain why I'm here, and she nods. I tap my debit card and the gate opens. I close and lock the cubicle, finally able to relax. I've made it. I hurriedly get changed into my swimsuit and tie my hair back. As I'm changing, my mind is racing with doubts and combats. This is wrong. But surely my well-being is more important than school. I'm going to get in trouble. Not if nobody finds out. I mean, I was extra careful to make sure no teachers followed me and that no students saw me. I know what they're like, little stitches. Oh well, no point thinking about it now. The whole point of this was for relaxation, after all. I exit the cubicle, shove my belongings into a locker and turn the key, clicking shut, and my mind finally realises this is real. It's happening, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Splash! I cannonball into the pool, quickly rising to the surface and taking a breath. It's cold, but in a refreshing way. I do a few laps and then just float happily. This is exactly what I needed. My worries just disappear. I'm left with only happiness. Eventually I climb out, but only to jump back in again. However, as I turn around, in the distance I notice someone who looks very out of place amongst the swimmers. A man, just a little taller than me, wearing not a swimsuit, but full uniform? It's not a uniform I've seen before either. He can't be a teacher trying to catch me, surely. I walk over, trying to look inconspicuous. He doesn't seem to notice my existence, even when I'm right behind him. He's just staring at the water in front of him. A single thought pops to my mind. Push him. I shake my head. That's so mean. Why would I do that? However, the thought keeps repeating in my mind, over and over the same sentence. I let out a small sigh, checking around to see if anyone's watching. There's no one nearby. My hands reach out and push him off the edge. He falls without a sound. I stare at the spot where he was stood, shocked at what I did. Why? I don't even know him. Why did I do that? Guilt rushes through me. A large gasp. I look up. The man has resurfaced and he looks panicked. Understandable. He splashes frantically, trying to catch his breath. I stand there, watching, unable to move for some reason. I should help him. I know I should, but I'm frozen in fear. So I just watch as he falls under, drifting out of view. There's only one thing I can do. Help! Someone's drowning, I shout to whoever can hear. A lot of people stare directly at me and I feel my face going red, but it doesn't even matter in this moment. A lifeguard runs over to me. What's going on? He asks, worry in his expression. I saw someone fall in and I think they're drowning, I explain. And within a second the lifeguard is diving in the pool, swimming down to grab them. I stand back, only now noticing how shaky I am. I'm a murderer. The lifeguard... Sorry, I lost my place. The lifeguard breaks the surface, gasping, and hauls the man's limp body onto his shoulders, swimming towards the edge. I let out a stifled sob. I can't believe this. Is he really dead? The lifeguard climbs onto the surface and carefully places the body on the floor. There's a crowd gathered round by this point, but another pool staff is trying to keep them away. The lifeguard proceeds to do CPR. No one seems to notice me, which is good because I sure as hell look suspicious right now of how I'm reacting. After a very long and painful minute, he begins breathing. It starts with a small gasp, turns into a choke, and he pukes up a load of water. The lifeguard rolls him over, I assume so he can breathe better. The man chokes and sputters for a while before flopping back onto the floor, closing his eyes, completely out of breath. My guilt goes up 100 times. The lifeguard asks the man if he's okay and what happened. I subconsciously bite my tongue, hoping he didn't see me push him in. But also kinda hoping he did. I deserve to be punished by what I did. Why did I even do it in the first place? He shrugs his shoulders. I exhale. He stands up, stumbling a bit, but insists he's okay and doesn't need any help. The lifeguard gives him some worried looks, but lets him leave. I follow behind, but a bit slower so he doesn't suspect anything. He turns the corner out of the pool and into the showering area. He steps into a cubicle and shuts the door. I get in the shower next door myself, since I do need to, but I'm also compelled to be by him for some reason. I'm about halfway through cleaning myself when I hear a small sob coming from next door. I glance over, trying to focus and listen, making sure I didn't hallucinate it. Another one comes. Then another. A soft thud and splosh onto the floor, and then he starts crying uncontrollably. I clutch my head in annoyance. I feel so pissed. Not at him, of course, but at myself. I've hurt him. I'm a horrible person. I sigh. There's only one way I can fix this. I run out of the cubicle and towards my locker, quickly unlocking it and digging through my bag, finding the towel and then relocking it, and back to the cubicles where I wait for him to exit. It takes a few minutes, but eventually the cubicle lock clicks, and he walks out. He spots me, and I notice he avoids eye contact. I can tell by how puffy his eyes are that it was definitely him crying. I mean, who else would it be anyways? He begins walking away, and I follow behind, scared to say anything. Instead, I just tap his shoulder, and when he turns around, I shove the towel into his hands. He just stares at it, as if he hadn't seen one before. Odd. He wraps it around himself and nods his thanks and then walks away. I smile slightly to myself. At least I helped him a little bit. After all, I doubt he brought a towel if he wasn't planning on swimming. I run back towards the pool and jump back in. I'm sure I have time for another few laps. That's basically as far as I've got so far. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that little reading. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow.